Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good evening. Hello. How in the hell are ya? Hi,
Good,
DC.
e- good evening. Sorry for the delay. We had technical difficulties on my end.
Yes, today has been one of those days. We were going to come earlier today, but then I had technical difficulties. We had a power outage, which I
Ah,
don't know if they were fixing something over here or what, but the lights just went off earlier today, about 3 hours ago. And I didn't know how long it was gonna take for it to come back up. So mine finally came back up, only for us to get started right now. And DC was having issues.
yeah, because our Wi-Fi Xfinity, they had a down for some reason, and it's still acting up for some reason. My stuff was never slow. I think they were just trying to test us for this last Big Brothers. You know what I'm saying? We being
Hmm.
tested for this last Big Brothers.
Well, I don't know why, because I thoroughly enjoyed the episode. What about you?
It was good.
Hmm. As y'all know, we have covered faithfully Big Brother season 27 week by week by week, and last night was the finale. So we
Mhm.
are going to do our breakdown and recap of the finale. I have to say that I was okay with how it went. There was so many different times this entire season where I felt some type of way about how the season was going. But I guess, well, what we were left with, that was the best option, the best alternative. Let me go ahead and get my graphic. I did make sure that I have this graphic here for us.
Oh, I like that one.
Well, thank you. I went out and found it.
I like that one though, for real. That one all looking all crisp.
Hmm. Yeah, and really wanted to get this one so that we could have this visual for the people, because now we just talking about these three right here. We really
Hmm.
don't have to talk about the huge chart, even though I still got the bigger chart on here. But for the most part, I'm gonna use this graphic um for our recap. But okay, so how? Well, I will say that Big Brother, it started off pretty well. The season finale was 2 hours. I thought that I was gonna get tired of it being that long, but it was actually pretty action packed the entire way, with
Hmm.
the HOH competitions and everything.
Yeah, everything was good back to back. It had me on my what they call it, pins and needles.
Hmm. Yep. Yeah. And I want to thank everybody for y'all's patience with us. Y'all please like the video. We are here at prime time. But okay, so we got the final three, which is, as you can see picture, Ashley, Morgan, and Vince. Also, they are the final three remaining alliance members for their judges.
Hmm.
They made it to the final three. So the episode starts with them celebrating about the fact that they are in the final three. Ava, they had just said goodbye to Ava
Yeah.
with her. I don't know what to think about. Ava was getting on my nerves last night.
Don't you talk about Ava. I just realized what you're saying.
She was. She's so extra, DC. So not it didn't bother you how extra she was really being.
Yeah, she was being a little dramatic.
And I'm thinking to myself, girl, you too old to be doing all that on national TV. No, that ain't cute. Stop it. But I just had to say that. But we'll get to that once we get to it. So the HOH, the first part of the HOH was the competition called Once in a Lifetime.
Yep.
And in Once in a Lifetime, all three of them went head to head on this spinning. It looked like something that you would get on at like a
Amusement
fair.
park.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking, like a fair.
I thought it looked
And
like a drone. Looked like a drone to me.
Mm-hmm.
Looked like a
Yeah, and
drone.
it was like a spinning and flying contraption that was just moving across the air, and you kind of had to hold on for dear life. However, it had you tilted forward for the most part, so you had to fight gravity to keep from falling forward. So you really had to use all of your muscles in order to stay on there. But the biggest problem with it is that it spins so much that was making them dizzy.
Hmm. Yeah, Ashley was like, I was getting mad at her because she was saying, like, she wasn't even trying to, you know what I'm saying? She was already focusing on, I can't do this.
Yeah, but I don't. I I was frustrated that she was the first one to fall off.
Yeah.
But given the complexity of that, I don't know how much anybody could be able to do on that because it's just the dizziness for me. And I want to say hey to Margaret, hey to Sassy Francis, hey to Magdalene. What's good, YouTube cameras moderator member? Hey,
Welcome to
Miss
the live
Kim
stream.
and Wes and Tara. Yeah, it was the way that it was spinning. I think that part would have got on my nerves. But I find it quite interesting how Vince was talking about he usually get car sick. That's why uh he don't like stuff like that. And he said that he even get car sick when he driving, which
Right.
is it made me think you just a lazy mofo that live with your mom and them at your 35-year-old age. And that's just an excuse for you to use so that they could drive you around. And so you ain't got to get a car. You ain't got to get a license. I thought that was the craziest thing for him. I ain't never heard of nobody getting car sick while they driving.
Right. I mean, why would you drive then? You shouldn't even have no license. For real, for real. If you feel like you can't, you gonna drive and get car sick driving your own self at that.
Hmm. To me, it just sounds like that he just lazy, DC. I think he probably done used that excuse all his life to make his mom and them drive for him. Think
Right.
about it.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's crazy for him to say that.
Hmm.
That's real crazy. Cause I'm like, come on now. Why would you say that? I would have kept that to myself.
Yeah. Now, I did get kind of worried about Ashley, though, because she was saying before she was first to fall off, she was talking about how she felt like she was about to faint or she felt faint up there.
Hmm.
Um, and I can only imagine because I think that you probably could get a little bit of lightheadedness and stuff up there, but she ended up
Yeah,
falling
yeah,
first.
from that spinning. Yeah, I can see that. And you up high.
Yeah, I was able to notate that she fell first, but she did stay up there for 28 minutes and 45 seconds. Um, Vince stayed up there longer and he ended up dropping after 53 minutes and 25 seconds. So Morgan ended up winning because both of them dropped first,
Right.
which this win meant that she automatically advanced to part 3 of the HOH competition.
Hmm.
So at least she was able to sit comfortably for the next part, the part 2.
I think you're supposed to be crunching on some chips while we talking, right?
No, I didn't get the chips. Well, I didn't bring them over here with me at the computer. Girl, once we was having these difficulties waiting on you, girl, I would just sit here waiting on you your stuff to get right.
You supposed to be going get yourself organized while I'm doing what I'm doing.
Mm. Girl, at that point, I was just sitting here waiting, like, do I need to push the time back? So I wasn't even thinking about the chips.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about it, so I don't have them here. But
Oh,
I might go and grab them. But let's get through. At least let's get through part of it.
yeah.
Okay. So my next notes is Cody. Cody
Oh,
went
yeah.
to the jury house to talk to the people in the jury, which I didn't for Cody's season. He was not one of my favorites, to be honest. I didn't like him or Derek too much that season, even though they made
Hmm.
it to the final 2 together. But I will say that he didn't do too bad of a job trying to interview the jury people.
Nah. I don't know. I think they should have sent somebody else in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they should have sent somebody else. Because wait a minute, let me get my notes.
Well, used to be in the past they would have Dr. Will in there, but they couldn't have Dr. Will in there because Dr. Will ended up appearing later as the mastermind.
Yeah.
So, because normally it's Dr. Will that go there with the house guests, and he typically do a pretty good job because he is a legend when it comes to Big Brother.
Right. Yeah.
I
Yeah, but
did.
they were my notes in there, they were like saying Morgan, she's competitive. She played Vince game. And then Vince got all of them in the jury house. They were talking about that and how he lied a lot. And then
Mm-hmm.
Ashley played a great lawyer game. But then how about Will reveal Ashley is a lawyer? I was like, oh Lord. He told
I heard him do that only for me to end up watching a recap earlier today, and I found out that Ashley did reveal that to Will, but she had told Will not to say nothing because
right.
she wanted the reveal to happen in her speech. And I'm thinking to myself, Will, well, if she wanted the big reveal in her speech, then why on earth would you go running your mouth in the jury house? That right there kind of put a bad taste in my mouth about Will, because I'm like, I don't know. I think it could have been a more explosive reveal if he had not have said anything. But I am on one side of me though, I think that he spoke about it in the jury house telling Rachel maybe because him and Rachel was there alone for a while.
Right.
And I'm thinking that as each person came in, I'm sure that talks of it happened more and more and more. But I just feel like that was not Will's secret to tell. So that was disappointing that he did that.
Yeah, he shouldn't have said nothing. When
Hmm.
he said that, I was like, let me rewind that back. I was like, no, he didn't. He just put her business
Right.
out there.
Right. Why is still jury? He don't even know if she gonna make it far or not, or if people will use that against her as far as her winning the game. Because it could have
Right.
been some very jealous and envious people that could have, once they realized that she was an attorney,
Hmm.
they use that against you, like, oh, well, you don't need to win. That type of thing.
Right.
Yeah. So I thought that wasn't a good thing. With Will admitting that. Also, I did note about Rachel admiring Morgan for her competitiveness and Keanu thinking that Morgan had a pretty good social game at the beginning.
Yeah.
Um, Ava and Kelly specifically were really honing into the unnecessary lies that Vince kept telling. And Keanu, he agreed with them on that level. It's funny to me. Ava, Kelly, and Keanu were the ones that really thought that they had Vince wrapped around their fingers. And it seemed like they the ones that kind of went the hardest on him. But I still to this day blame Keanu. Keanu ain't got nobody else to be mad with but himself for how he
Yes.
was able to get played by Vince, because they was trying to tell him, specifically Rachel was trying to tell him, and then Rachel and Ashley was trying to tell him, but he didn't want to listen to him.
He ain't want to listen. And he gonna look
Hmm.
back at all of that. And he gonna see.
Also, Rachel did bring up that she didn't want the jury to be a bitter jury. She wanted them to be able to look past any personal feelings about how they felt about the players.
Hmm.
Um and then Ava, I think even whenever Will told the secret about Ashley being a lawyer, Ava was kind of extra in that regard too. But
Yeah.
especially once they got on that stage, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
She
She was
was
doing
getting
too
on my
much.
nerves.
Yeah. She was doing too much.
I also was shocked to see Kelly actually give Ashley, credit where it's due. because she even stated that she was impressed that how Ashley was able to dumb herself down throughout the game being an attorney. And I think that kind of gave her cool points with some of the people. I still just wouldn't have said it though, because like what Rachel was saying about bitter jurors, you got some
Mhm.
people that will get so bitter to where then they'll say, well, you don't need to win. It's just like if somebody find out you are a doctor or you are this or you are that, they assume you already a millionaire. Why do you need the extra money?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you might not make that type of money. You might make enough money, good money, but you might want extra money. They
Mm-hmm.
don't look at it like that. They looking at trying to get your ass out. You don't
Right.
need it as much as they need it.
Right. What's good, the remix? How you doing?
What's up, the
Um,
remix?
my my next note that I have is Frankie. Lord, Frankie. Frankie showed up. What you think about Frankie?
Oh no, that boy is off the rockets. When he showed up, I was like, "Oh Lord, here he go."
Yeah, when he showed up, he showed up to host the part 2 of the HOH competition, in which that part 2 was called Unmask the Mastermind.
Right,
Um and with this one, they had to do this. Vince and Ashley had to zip line to destroy the mastermind billboards and
right.
then reassemble the puzzle pieces to display the faces of 6 house guests. Then after they got the puzzle pieces, then they had to solve one little riddle as well in order to win.
Now that
One
game,
thing that I can say, mhm,
that
go ahead.
game, that one was intense. Because I was like, boy, they need to knock them things down real quick. Until they, they both realized how they were doing it was
It's
they should have did
funny
it.
though because but the crazy thing about that particular competition, DC, is
Mm,
now in part one, Ashley was the first person to fall. And in this part two, she losing. But
right.
I do appreciate that she wasn't giving up, but she was losing. Oh, she was falling so far behind. She almost was reminding me of like somebody trying to karate chop or karate kick the things. And I'm just like, girl, you gonna have to get another strategy because whatever you doing ain't working. Because Vince was able to knock his down super quick versus her. She had to keep going and keep going and keep going.
Yep. Then she realized she was doing it wrong. Then she knocked him down quickly. But then, by like you said, she was behind, way behind.
hmm By that point, Vince had already finished knocking his down while she was still struggling to knock hers down. Then he was already working to assemble the puzzle pieces.
Hmm.
So he assembled the puzzle pieces and he got to the next part of the competition in which he had to I because I made sure that I put exactly what that thing said. Um
Oh, the part where they was reading it wrong.
uh-huh.
They was reading the part what it was. They had to put it in the correct um order,
Oh,
not the order.
the order of when they exited the game, but he
Right,
was putting the dates of when they exited the game, which I think
right.
that's stupid as hell because nowhere on that piece of paper did it say dates.
No, it didn't. But that's because they so far trying to win, they not thinking. Let me read this correctly. You know what I'm saying? Let me read it slowly. Make sure I get what it's saying. They reading so fast because they trying to win. That's all that is.
N-
Because you see how Ashley, she was way behind. And then she was like, what am I doing wrong? Let me take time. Let me read this thing again. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't reading it right.
Right, I know they weren't reading it right, but that's the problem. I think that's one of the big problems that I will say that you can notice from people who have been Big Brother fans for a long time.
Mhm.
Because remember, I was telling you, there were some fans that have watched this show season after season after season, in which they already anticipate what competition is coming up. The Wild Cup is next. Zing Ba is coming. Vita, Otev is coming, etc. Now, in Big Brother history, there is normally some type of questioning competition about dates. And I believe because Vince don't watch Big Brother for as long as he have, that that also played into the part of him misreading the thing. Almost like you a know it all. You think you know what's about to come up next, so I'm about to do this. This is what they requesting of me. When in all actuality, no, sir, you ain't read it right. And I think that's the same thing with Ashley, which I was proud of her for taking the time to stop, take a deep breath, and read the thing again. That would have been the
Exactly.
first thing that I would have done. As soon as that thing had showed me that I got it wrong 2, maybe 3 times, I'm about to read the thing again.
Right. And you saw Morgan watching like, oh, they supposed to. He was like, she was getting like, oh, he's gonna lose, he gonna lose, because she was like, her whole face was just like balled up, like, damn, they
Mm.
not reading it right. They not reading it right. But when Ashley, like you said, when she read, took time out, I was glad she took a woosah and started reading it all over again.
Yeah. Oh, and I just look back at the chat. So Taylor and Sassy Francis said, and he kept running back pressing a button. That was funny. He was getting real mad. And then Taylor said that's because they're used to having a day of base games. Correct, Taylor. But how, what did you think about him having that temper tantrum in the meltdown the
Man,
entire time that Ashley is so behind, but just his reaction of how he was getting so frustrated, I know that had to add some adrenaline to Ashley to make her just hang in there and keep going and keep going, because he was over there acting up while she was still trying to get to where he was.
uh, I put that in my notes because I was gonna say something about that temper tantrum. I said, listen, he look like a damn big ass kid down on the floor trying to get the thing. And I mean, if it's gonna buzz that many times, come on now. If it said, bzzz, bam, how many times it's gonna tell you it's doing you, and you know for a fact you putting it in the order that you think you're supposed to be putting it in. That would have been common sense right there. After at least 5 times, and you put it in the order that you thought what the paper said.
Mm-hmm. And then not only that, but he was yelling at the thing, almost like he yelling at Big Brother. What is wrong with it? I put it right. And all of this. And it made me wonder if that's how he be acting over there at his mom and daddy house.
Most
Like,
likely.
you already 35, still living at home with your mom and your daddy, and you're unemployed. And this how you act when you under a little bit of pressure. This is what you do. He was a grown man child. A man child. I was like, oh, uh-uh.
A whole man child.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I was like this. I was like the whole time, you better not cry. You better not.
Oh, that would have been the icing on the cake if he would have just bust out crying. I mean, he was one step away from that. So Taylor said it was hilarious. I called him so many bitches watching that. Yeah, it was like, oh my God. And then I had to think about his girlfriend that done broke up with him. I said, I wonder if he act like this with her for her to have been with him for 7 years, and this is
Mm,
how he cracked under pressure. I said, "Oh my goodness, he really done lost somebody that will actually deal with him." But
that-
yeah, so Ashley ended up rereading it while he was having a temper tantrum. Ashley did the proper thing and picked up the card off the ground and let me read it one more time. And she
yep.
realized her mistake. I like the fact that once she realized her mistake, she had to be sly about changing her stuff around. Because you
Mm,
know damn well if he would have realized she was doing something different, he would have been looking over there trying to see what she doing so that he could cheat.
yep. Showing up. I'm glad she basically hid it from him.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So
crazy. Yeah.
so Ashley did end up buzzing in to win, and Vince was still frustrated. because he kept hitting it with the incorrect thing. And I felt well, I didn't feel bad for Morgan, but I could understand how Morgan and Frankie felt because we watched that edited down. But y'all, in
Mhm.
all actuality, that type of competition like that could have taken a couple of hours in real
Mhm.
time. So imagine seeing him do this over the course of maybe an hour or two, and you knowing dang well that he didn't read it right, but you can't say nothing. So Morgan and Frankie just had to sit up there and watch him keep making the mistake.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was in his. I ain't even gonna lie. I said, "Come on, Ashley, hurry up! You got to win this one. This the end, Ashley. You got this. Let's go, Ashley." That's. I was in here like I was watching a football game.
Mm. And I have to say, one thing that really ticked me off about Vince that kind of showed me that he kind of have that same mentality as Keanu's to a certain degree. Why in the hell he gonna say Ashley didn't beat him? He beat himself. No, bitch, she beat you. Why
Right.
in the world his ego won't let him give Ashley the credit that Ashley deserves? She beat you. But now he walking around talking about he beat himself. He did it to himself. He is so angry with himself. No, she beat you. And it was beautiful that she beat him on something so simple because it seemed that him and Keanu was always making fun of Ashley, calling her dumb and stuff like that behind her back and saying she wasn't smart and what is she doing up in the game? Why is she even there? You know, they talked a lot of recklessness about her because she was doing that ditzy dumb act the whole time,
Yeah,
only
pretending.
for it to be something so simple and she ended up beating him.
Yep, that's crazy. I was up in that camp. Let's go. I was up in this camp screaming, boy, because I was like, "Come on, Ash, you got to get them numbers together. Don't let them look. Don't let them look. Hurry up." He went over there and that shit said, "Ding, ding, ding, ding." I jumped up out the recliner chair like I told you, like she done got a touchdown.
Hmm. Yeah, that was good. So after Ashley won, um, they ended up revealing Dr. Will. Now, see, Dr. Will is who typically would do the round table, but I guess they couldn't use him to do the round table if they already knew that they was going to be unveiling him as the mastermind. So
Right.
they unveiled Dr. Will as the mastermind. Um, However, he said that he was framed. He said he was not the mastermind at all. They was
No.
taking him through the backyard in handcuffs.
Yeah, he wasn't the mastermind.
Yeah. And that ended up,
Sister says she here. Sister here. What's up, sister?
oh, hey sister. Okay, thank you, sister. I'm glad you're here. So that ended up, what was I about to say? Oh yeah. That ended up setting up for them to go into the part three of the head of household competition. But I will say, Ashley was celebrating her win against Vince, and Ashley was already saying that she was gonna get Morgan out. When she was in the kitchen by herself celebrating, she said
Oh
she about to get
yeah.
Morgan.
She was talking
She
to the
said, "I'm
camera.
about to get." Mm-hmm.
She said, "I'm gonna get her."
She
That's gonna
did.
put a resume. That's gonna put a resume for all the people that didn't get her out.
Mm-hmm. So then we head into the part three of the head of household competition, which was live, and this was now Ashley versus Morgan. Now,
Hmm.
this one right here, I was shocked that Morgan bombed this one like this. I was
Her
really
nerves.
shocked. Even I was not this for this competition. I was actually playing along with them, answering the questions too, and I
Mhm.
was getting them. I was getting them right more than Morgan.
Morgan was up there. I told you it was the end of the game. It's coming to an end, and their nerves was getting the best of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that was. She was overthinking it.
Yes. So for the part three of the HOH, y'all, this HOH part three was called Perjury Duty. And they essentially had to look at a series of videos from the previous house guests where they said 3 different statements, but one statement was false. The other ones were true. And they had to pick which one was the false statement, that type of thing. And so Morgan got Will, Kelly, and Lauren's statements wrong. Ashley got every single one of them right. And with her having every single one of them right, there was no way that Morgan would be able to catch up regardless. So Ashley ended up winning that competition as well, which made her the final HOH of the season.
Let's go. That's what I was at. Let's go, Morgan. Not Morgan. Ashley. Let's go, Ashley. That's why I was
shocked. I was shocked. I said, look at her. I said, she finally done won HOH, and I guess she won it at the right time. Can't even be mad at her.
I told you I was in here like I was watching a football game.
As much as we talked about this girl not being able to win nothing, I mean, hell, in our predictions last week, did we even predict her to win? What? Go back to the predictions. Not last week. We did the predictions on Saturday.
Yep.
I think when asked to predict who was gonna win, I said Morgan.
And I said Ashley.
Did you?
Yep. Go look at your stuff.
Those notes I didn't end up making a note of when we did those predictions, DC, because remember I was multitasking trying to do the Walmart order too.
Yeah, I put Ashley because I was like, it's time for her to win. She's gonna win it at the end. Watch. I said she's gonna win that HOH.
So then you called it. Well, that's good. Because yeah, she won it right when she needed. So now with her being the final HOH, she get to decide who she want to go to the final 2 with. Hey, Miss Whistledown. Miss Whistledown said Morgan plays video games. Ashley is a lawyer. It was to her advantage. Yeah, I honestly think between Morgan and Vince, both of them don't do well performing or reading under pressure. And it's the bottom line. I think things were so easy for them to get through the game to a certain degree that once it was finally down to that pressure, they buckled. But yeah, so with Ashley being crowned the final HOH, it's going to be up to her to decide who is she going to bring with her to the final 2.
Yeah.
Ashley did have some tears up in her eyes as she said, Morgan, you're my best friend in the house. You're my best friend here. But I don't think I could beat you in the final 2. I don't think I could win. At least with Vinny, it's at least a toss-up. I'll have a chance. And she said, Morgan, get the hell out.
Bye-bye. See ya. Sayonara. Gotta go. Peace out.
So Morgan ended up leaving, and she gonna go out there with leave out the house, talk about, well, I'm at peace. That's what she kept saying. I'm at peace. Like, are you at peace or are you in shock?
I want to say cry. Why she not crying yet?
I don't know. I don't think that I would have wanted to see Morgan cry, but definitely Vince. I would have wanted to see.
No, I'm tired of seeing Vince. Vince don't need to cry. He done cried enough through the whole thing. He don't need to cry no damn more. If anything, he can go cry a river with his ex. Something.
Oh, he's gonna be in for a rude awakening, I'm sure. But so yes, so Vince, Ashley took Vince to the final 2, and then they bring in the jury. Come back, Zulu. Get from over there. No. Sorry about that. He over there at my work computer. I knew when I see him. I knew when I see him, he would. Remember, I told you the power was off earlier today. He better not go over there messing with none of that stuff.
He about to go look for Bluey. Dog.
He better leave that work mess alone. When the electricity had went out, girl, I just had to go ahead and put everything up. And now he want to be over there sniffing around. But that's it's too much of my power cords and stuff plugged up over there. He don't need to be over there. But okay. So now the jury came in.
Well, hold on. Morgan had said something about she would have took Ashley. What's your thoughts on that? You think she would have took Ashley?
No, she was gonna take Vinny
Yeah, she said she would have took Ashley. She told that to Judy.
to Julie. I don't think
And,
I believe it. I don't think I believe it, but it's really hard to call.
and then
I
and then and
think
then
mhm.
she said her and Vinny are best friends. So we're gonna see how that play out.
I think she would have taken Vince because I like what I said when we did our predictions. I said that she had the bigger chance of beating Vince and she had the best chance of beating Ashley.
Hmm.
So that's why I feel like she probably wouldn't have took Ashley unless she was just ready to have second place. Or if she wanted that possibility. I think she would have had to do Ashley the same way that Ashley did her. And Ashley Morgan, when she was sitting there talking to Julie, she said that. She said, you know, if it were up to me and I would have had to look at the odds, I probably would have done the same thing she did. Now I did appreciate Morgan being upfront and honest about that part.
Okay. I guess I can agree to that. I ain't really like her that much.
She was okay, but I think when it comes to Vince, because he had lied to everybody,
Yeah.
it's best to bring him regardless. But that's the messed up part because it still gave him the opportunity to get the $75. Not $75,
All right, 75.
75,000.
He said, hey, look.
We're like,
Hey,
all of that for $75?
look, he got some money though. he
they
ain't broke.
they said that's probably the most money he done ever had in his life because he
Oh
unemployed living
damn.
with his mama now.
Mama them gonna tell him you owe us back rent.
Oh,
Yeah,
and so sister said that she is happy that Ashley won and she was happy that Morgan lost. Yeah. And I think the beauty of this is Vince, you embarrassed your girlfriend of 7 years, Kelsey.
poor
She had to break
Kelsey.
up with you and you still didn't win.
Poor Kelsey. Poor
Mhm.
Kelsey. Kelsey done got another boyfriend.
So yeah, so Morgan and Julie had they talk about Morgan's gameplay, and then Julie uh brought the jury out
Yeah.
so that Morgan could come out with the jury. But Julie did tell Morgan to prepare one question for either one of them that she might want to ask.
Right.
Keanu was definitely mad at Vince, which I'm happy because he want to ask Vince about his emotionally manipulative gameplay and that he had horrible jury management. But Keanu, you was the fool that kept believing his lies. After he done lied to you about 83 times, it's time for you to stop believing it.
Right. How many times somebody gonna lie to you and you know they lie? I can see if you didn't know they didn't lie, you didn't know they lied on you, but you
Uh-huh.
knew they lied on you. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, if you know it, come on now. If they did it that one time, what makes you think they ain't gonna keep doing it? And you don't know them like that.
Yep, but that just goes that he was believing the men over the women only for him to really see that Vince did not have his best interest in this game at all. Even Keanu said that it was like a double-edged sword of all the or excuse me. No, not Keanu. It was Vince called it a double-edged sword and said that he apologized for anyone feeling manipulated. But he was doing it from a game perspective.
Mm,
Now you want to apologize.
at the end.
He honestly, he could have kept that apology. He didn't care. He was lying down to the very end. Then Rachel was able to get asked about Ashley. What I noticed was when they asked Ashley the questions, they had nice and positive questions. But when it came time for Vince's question, everybody was mad.
Yeah, because they know what he did. You know, he lied to everybody. They know what they know what Vince did. You know what I didn't like though through
What?
when they were at the end. I didn't like how Julie she every time Ashley got to talking,
Hmm.
he cut her off. But when Vince got to talking, it was he talked a while before she cut him off.
Well, I can't get mad at anything like that because I know the power of working in television. When it's live, you got to stay on time. Just like how, right, like with YouTube, okay, yeah, we have the flexibility to move around. But you got to remember, after Big Brother went off, I think Survivor was coming on next, or something else was coming on.
Mhm.
So, unfortunately, it's Julie's job. Even though it appeared harsh,
Yeah,
it's
it
her
did.
job to make them. But you got to stay on topic. What? They still got a commercial break. Got to come. These people, the ones that's paying everybody. So, in a sense, her as the host, she gotta keep it there. Otherwise, them two would have been long winded as a mofo.
I think it's I maybe it's just the way she was saying it. Miss Whistledown said the same thing. I didn't like her either. It's she.
Oh, but I think Miss Whistledown was talking about Morgan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what did Lisa say?
What you say, baby? I said when what's the little black girl? What's her name? Ashley. When Ashley was talking,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't know it. When Vince was talking, whatever his name is. Vince. When Vince was talking, she let him go. Julie Chen, if you notice, pay attention to how she talked to the women as opposed to how she talked to me.
No, I hear what you're saying, Lisa. I think this is my opinion. When they was at that question and answer, if Rachel asking you a question, just answer that one question. Because everybody else on this stage got to have a chance to ask their question too. To me, I think that Ashley was thinking that this was her final speech. So when she was answering her question, she was treating it like it was her final speech. When no, you gonna get a chance at the end for your final speech. Right now, you just need to stay on topic, answer the questions because everybody else gotta go.
Okay.
But go ahead, Lisa.
No, that was it. I don't like Julie Chen. Number one, I don't like Julie Chen. I don't like Julie Chen. But she's male centered. Baby, pause that whatever you watching this slide here. If you pay attention to Julie Chen, she's male centered. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, you have a certain amount of time and everything, but if you pay attention to how she does everybody in there, and how she treats the women as opposed to how she treats the men when she's talking. Even when she's talking to them during the show, not even the end. Pay attention to how she acts. Yeah, because she was trying to get Will call her what he call her? But what she called? He called his wife Chocolate Drop, and she said, "Well, am I Vanilla Drop?" What she say?
No, she had said lemon drop, but she had first made that joke earlier. In like the first week, she had made that joke about Will and the thing, because you know every single time Will went to give his eviction vote, he always be like, "I love you, my chocolate drop." So then she started joking with him about the lemon drop.
Yeah. That's crazy.
But I get what both of y'all are saying. I think only because of my background, I look at it from a different perspective. But I completely understand what y'all are saying, because this morning I did listen to a couple of other recappers and people, that had gave their perspective, and they did say that it seemed like she was harsh. I don't even know if they have a specific timer or anything that they using. My thought is this: a whole bunch of producers and directors up in a control room that's talking through an earpiece to Julie and telling Julie when she got to tell them to, okay, wrap it up. That's typically how it go. It's people up in a whole nother room with a whole bunch of TV screens everywhere that's telling you through a headset what to do. And I think that's the reason why Julie had to interrupt each one of them. But her tone of voice, I
Yeah. So
did
what?
notice she had a tone of voice with Ashley.
Yeah. She just she shouldn't. She got if she gonna work on TV like that. She got to realize thousands of people are listening and they can see you. We see you. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
she was harsh with Ashley.
Yes. No, I agree. I agree. But so they let me go back to my note. Okay, so oh, Kelly was asking Vince about his line and crying. She he she wanted to know about that. He talked about he was very passionate and authentic with his crying. And then he was saying that his emotions were always sincere.
Mm,
How can you have sincere emotions if you lying? They
right.
see the
Yeah,
shit that I don't get.
but you
If
remember
you
in the
lying to them, then there was nothing sincere about what you saying, because it's all a lie.
yeah, but he made that known that faked me out cry shit in the beginning when he was
Mm-hmm.
in the kitchen or somewhere he was talking about he basically trying to cover up his tracks. So he had to get the fake crying and get the crying.
Mm-hmm.
That was in the beginning. So when he
Yeah.
did that shit in the beginning, I couldn't believe the rest of the time he cried.
Now I will say, what are y'all thoughts about Will's question for Ashley when he pointed out to her that she was using Rachel as a shield, and he wanted to know about her personal contributions to the game?
Mm.
Now I thought Will, of all the people,
Right.
first off, how you gonna say she hide behind somebody? Both of y'all was hiding. Remember, they both didn't want to even play up in the Lotus, the White Lotus. Remember, they both of y'all was hiding. How you gonna call her out for hiding behind Rachel as a shield and about what she did personally to contribute to the game, but when both of y'all was side by side hiding together?
Right.
I thought that was interesting. I'm like, oh, that's the question you want to ask. Look at you.
Yeah, Will he should have came better than that.
Well, but and see, that type of question right there was one of the reasons too why Ashley went on another tangent. Because that's a loaded ass question, what he just asked. What were her personal contributions? Well, in order for me to answer this question, then I gotta go on a long tangent, and then Julie Chen gonna have to stop you.
Right?
Because that was too loaded. Will could have had, I don't know what he could have did, but personal contributions in a game that was for the last 3 months. Oh, that's gonna take a lot of talking. So even in that aspect, she tried to answer him, but she was going too long. And then even I was looking, and Lauren offered Vince um or she wanted Vince to take the moment to differentiate his game from Morgan's game, which then that's Lauren calling Vince out for allowing Morgan to run his HOHs. I hope you caught
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm. That was crazy.
Hmm. Yep. So Then I'm trying to see what. Oh, about Ava. Go ahead and talk about Ava. You like her.
Ava, I think that's just her character because you didn't see when they went to meet the parents when they did a interview with
Hmm.
her and her boyfriend. Apparently, that's just who Ava is. So I don't think I want to say she was doing too much, which she was doing too much. But according to how
Hmm.
what her parents and her boyfriend was saying, that's just who she is. So
Well, no, I was talking about her questioning because she was she basically was trying to ask Ashley why did she think she deserved to win over Vince, and that's when Ashley had said she um she turned enemies into alliances instead of turning her alliances into enemies.
right, I think they was trying to do trick questions.
Well, I mean, definitely you got to make the question interesting because this is for $750,000.
Well, shit.
So you
After
got to
you
come
saw,
hard. And I think a lot of them really did see that Ashley really didn't have too many wins underneath her belt. She had the one veto win that she won at the beginning of the season, and then that HOH that she won at the very end.
at the end, yeah, but you got to think. Even sometimes it's not about winning. Sometimes it's how you play the game. Like she was, you can be loyal somewhat, but not all the way. But you ain't got to necessarily be walking around lying every 5 minutes like Vince. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Because she could have. I mean, I don't know how they would have voted if it was Morgan and her. I don't know. Even though Morgan won all that stuff, but who would have lost? Yeah, yeah, she might have lost and she might have won over Morgan. Who knows? Because sometimes you got to go based on how you play the game. Sometimes it ain't about winning as far as
But Morgan
competition.
wasn't up in there lying to people. I almost am willing to bet that Ashley could not beat Morgan. Morgan wasn't lying to people. When she had an alliance with you, she was loyal to you, down to Mickey and Jimmy when they had their alliance together, down to the judges, down to working with Vince. What the things that she promised the people up in the house, she kept her word too. And that right there alone, plus all of them competitions that she won, I don't think that Ashley could have been able to talk her way into beating Morgan. That's why I think Ashley made the best choice by removing Morgan and going with Vince.
Mm-hmm. Vince done burnt too many bridges.
I thought it was quite funny seeing Kelly and Lauren blatantly laughing at Vince's face while he was answering some of his questions about his
I know
game
what.
and how he lied and backstabbed. Kelly, this was the one and only time that I'd have seen Kelly on that show, and I actually kind of liked her. I said, "Well, Kelly, you better give it to him," because Kelly was just laughing in his face, especially at some of the ridiculous mess that he was saying to excuse how he treated them.
Right. That's crazy.
Yep. So after they did the question round, then they finally got to the part with the final statements. This is the part that I think that Ashley was waiting on, but she tried to treat every question like she was at this part.
Right.
Because what I thought about mentally, and this is just how I shape it up. Last night we witnessed Ashley be in the Big Brother courtroom, and she had approached the ladies and gentlemen of the jury to give her
Hmm.
closing argument. And she was ready to give her closing argument. You
As a
understand
lawyer.
me?
As a
As a
lawyer.
lawyer. As a
As a
lawyer.
lawyer. Say it
And
with feelings. What a lawyer.
and,
Lawyer.
and Julie Chin was the judge. Julie Chin was the judge. Then they got the jury right there. And that's why she was speaking, and it seemed like she had rehearsed and prepared hers really, really well. She
But
did
she
a
was in
great
the,
job.
she was in her element. She like, okay, I'm ready now. She
Hmm.
did her thing.
And that was really impressive to me because remember, several weeks ago, we said, ain't no way we would have hired Ashley to be an attorney for us. Girl, after seeing them closing statements last night, how
She's
she was able to
hard.
convince people that she need to win and she only and she'd have barely won anything the whole season. She good at what she do. She good at what she do. I said, I'm gonna have to take that back because I did say that she could never represent me. Now,
Right?
Ashley, you won me over. You won me over. Then I think in her final speech, she referenced the Legally Blonde movie, which I'm gonna have to go find that movie. I remember that movie came out like I want to say in the 90s or the early 2000s, but I never did watch it. I thought it was one of them like girly romantic comedies or something. But now I'm intrigued to go find that movie to watch it just to see because she said she based her entire character up in the house from that movie. So now I want to watch the movie.
She done promoted that movie.
She sure did. Now I want to go watch. Cause that lady was an attorney in that movie. But again, that typically what my lane of movies to watch. That's why I didn't watch it back then when it first came out. But now I'm gonna try to go find it.
See,
Hopefully I can find it on like I'm sure I can find it on
right.
Amazon Prime or Tubi or Hulu or somewhere. I'm sure I can find it somewhere.
Yeah, she did her thing though. I ain't gonna lie.
Now, when Ashley disclosed to them that she was really an attorney, and then Vince got up there to start his speech and he said, well, I'm really unemployed, guys. Now, was he trying to pull on their heartstrings?
I think he was. He was trying to give
Did
them
he
the
want did he want to guilt trip them? To guilt trip them into giving him the win. Like, well, I'm really unemployed, so that means I need to win. No, no, it don't. No, it don't.
he's like, damn, nobody likes me. Shoot. I wonder what
He
his
said
parents had to say about that.
he said to me when I saw him up there trying to do his speech, and I just gotta just drop this up in here, take it or leave it. I saw every bit of lemon up there. He said, yes, I lied. Yes, I lied. But I put my blood, sweat, and tears. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this game. It made me think about Lemon still living with his mom and him. And I always talk about he put his blood, sweat, and tears into his lives. His live streams, he is blood, sweat, and tears. And I'm like, no, Vince ain't up here pulling the lemon, admitting that he lied. He put his blood, sweat, and tears, but he still want to win. Hell no, no,
He was
no.
trying though. He was trying his best, boy.
He
That's funny.
just
Yeah.
he was just no competition for Ashley.
Uh-uh.
Ashley swept the floor with him.
They thought Ashley was gonna come up.
So
They thought Ashley was gonna get up there and start talking dumb and shit. That's what they thought. Till she had to show them who she really is.
right.
They like, oh god damn. Wait a minute. This ain't the Ashley I was in the house with.
Sister, I know that was messy. That was, but I just had to say that one time because the blood, sweat, and tears, that stood out to me. But he would just admit to, yes, I lied to you. Yes, I had a final two with you and you and you. And yes, I said I was gonna take you. I lied. I'm sorry if I hurt anybody's feelings, but I put my blood, sweat, and tears. It was just over the top for me. It was over the top.
He was doing
But
too much.
so yeah. So they end up going to the key box so that they could cast their vote for the winner. I already knew where everybody was voting, but Will talking about he gonna
Oh
vote for his little girl.
yeah. When he said that, I was like, boy, you supposed to shut up.
Right. And see, even Julie had to get snappy at Will when he did that. Julie said, because that's her job. She got to. Because I'm like, you going to vote for your little girl. When it's a male and a female up there, you can't be saying no mess like that. What's wrong with you? But yeah, everybody ended up placing their votes. And long story short, y'all, Ashley got all the votes unanimously except for Morgan's. And my question is, why didn't Morgan vote for Ashley? Why did Morgan give Vince the sympathy vote? Is it because she had already promised him that she would give him that sympathy vote? Or did she give the vote to Vince because she was kind of bitter that Ashley put her out? It make you wonder.
I think she was bitter. I think she was both.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was shocked by that. Because, I mean, just with the final speeches and everything alone, hands down, Ashley beat him. But she still gave Vince her vote.
Mm-hmm. That would make you think, do she really like him?
That's a question. Well, but do she really like him, or do she know that he got $75,000 now?
Oh, that's true.
She don't got it. He the one over there sitting there with the $75,000 now.
Uh, makes you wonder,
So,
huh?
and that was one thing with the reunion when they brought the entire cast on the stage. Julie was asking the people who all had a final two with Vince. 8 people. 8 people said that they had a final two deal with Vince.
Yeah, he did that in the beginning.
He sure
He was
did.
making.
And that's
He
why
was
I'm shocked that they did not communicate with each other to out that. How in the hell you promise a final two to 8 different people and none of them people cross referenced and caught you in that? That's wild.
mm-hmm. But then they said he was the cause of all the people that went to jury.
hmm Yeah, well, the people feel that way because he had final twos with them. He had final twos with them, but then kind of orchestrated their evictions at the same time. So pretty much backstabbed them. But again, Keanu was stabbed in the front. It was no backstabbing of Keanu. That man was stabbing Keanu in the front. Keanu just refused to see it. Now, everybody else, though, I could say was backstabbed.
Right.
I could say was backstabbed. Sister said she was bitter because she was going to take Ashley to the final two. And Miss Whistledown said she was pissed if you look at her face. Okay. And I wonder if she didn't want to pick Ashley because now she know. Because that's what I saw too when I was looking at the review. So it seemed like on the live feeds this entire weekend, all of them had been practicing their HOH speeches, by themselves. And while Morgan had been practicing hers, she was gonna do this grand reveal to let them know that she is really a professional gamer on Twitch, and that she does something with something called K-pop. I don't know what K-pop is, but I guess that's some type of thing. But long story short, huh?
It's Korean. It's Korean pop music.
Oh, okay. Well, that was gonna be her big reveal up in her speech at the final two. So another reason why I think she could have been bitter as hell, because imagine her prepping up thinking she about to wow everybody with her secret about being a gamer on Twitch when you over here with a Georgetown attorney at an international law firm that had all of y'all fools thinking she was dumb as hell when she's smarter than all of y'all. And now she done won.
Yeah. Let's go, Ashley. Man, I was up in this camp. Let's
Hey, Tracy. Yeah, and so it made me wonder if too, because she probably felt like her thunder had been stolen. Because I mean,
Hmm.
even now, if she told the rest of the cast, oh, about her being a gamer, ain't nobody impressed by that because you can't top what Ashley. You can't top Ashley. We
Hmm.
don't care about you being a gamer on Twitch. Anybody could do that.
She probably was really mad because she had won all that stuff and veto, and then for her to like didn't even come in second place.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Miss Whistledown said they crossed over into America, my baby into it. Okay, I think she's talking about that K-pop. I'm gonna have to look that up and see what that's about. I mean, hell, even if she would have made it to the end and put that up in her speech, I still wouldn't have knew what she was talking about. I still don't know what she's talking about now. I know about Twitch, but that's all I know. But yeah, she thought she was gonna impress America with that. So they get to questioning the other guests, and then Amy ended up revealing that she was the mastermind's accomplice.
Hmm.
Then they was doing this whole. I don't know why they put that extra part with Frankie and Eric and
Oh
the
yeah, the
other guy
three,
Jesse.
yeah, three masterminds.
Yeah, yeah. That was really not needed. They could have kept that. And to be honest, to Lisa's point, they could have kept all of that right there, that little bit with Jesse, Frankie, and Eric. They could have scrapped that completely and gave them more time to do their speech. But see,
Hmm.
that's the reason why Julie was rushing them and stopping them, because she knew that they got to do this hogwash that don't mean nothing. The game is over. We don't care about them.
Right. Yeah. Like she showed up
So,
cutting the girl off.
yeah, but it was because they had that. But if they would have got rid of that, that's easily a good 10 minutes, maybe a good 5 or 10 extra minutes that could have been gone towards the questioning and stuff. And we could have done without that part.
Yeah.
But okay, so then now they end up revealing the winner. Ashley won, and then America's favorite house guest, and you were correct as well. Then you say
Yep.
Keanu.
I said Keanu. I was like, yeah, let's go. I was like, let's
You said
go.
Keanu. I wanted Rachel to get it, but I'm not upset that Keanu got it. And then I have to remind myself that Rachel did win season 13. So she won the season. So I can't be upset. She got a win. Keanu got America's favorite. And then Ashley got a win.
Hold up. You know what I got to talk about, which is really
What?
crazy. How you feel
What?
about Catherine and Riley still together?
Oh, I'm actually a little bit shocked by that,
Right.
but it makes me wonder though if she's actually been able to sit down and watch the episodes. Cause a
Because
lot
she
of the
had
time,
to. She
huh?
she she went home, so I'm sure she did.
No, they can't watch those episodes until after the show.
No, not the jury can't.
No, I mean I don't think they let them watch it
Yeah, they can.
because they said the tabloid said that she pressed charges on that boy. That she wanted to press charges because she was scared of him.
Well, they together. Come to find
I
out.
heard that. I saw that.
Yeah, that's why because well, first, Lisa, I believe that they are allowed to watch the show once they go home, but I just wonder if she I don't know. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
she can't watch the old episodes, though, can you?
Well, 9 times out of 10, that's where I watch everything through Paramount Plus. So if you got a Paramount Plus account, you can watch any episodes that you missed. I don't know if they get to have access to Paramount Plus as a perk just for being a part of the show. I'm not sure. But I just think I just think she gonna have to take her time to be able to understand everything that's going on, because even on social media, Riley is behind on child support. It's several of his baby mamas. He got a few baby mamas that done came out here up on social media while he was up in the Big Brother house. And
Yep.
that's my thing. It's like, I wonder if she know all the stuff that has come out about him for her to really be saying that she gonna be committed with him to like building a relationship and stuff. She probably don't know anything about all these baby mamas and the child support that he owe and all this kind of stuff. The people up on the internet was pulling up so much shit up on this man when he was up in the house. And so that's the part that I guess I'm kind of getting at, is that if he is not upfront and honest with her to let her know all of these things, then she might still be dealing with him. But the thing is, once she get out here and actually look around and find out, and she know the real truth and the real deal that he got all these kids out here that he ain't paying for, if she's still gonna feel that way, or if her parents are gonna allow her to be dealing with him. So I guess that's kind of where I was getting around to saying.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
I just found it weird when they said that they were still together. I was like, what?
Yeah. 9 times out of 10, they might still be, because it's cute for right now. It's cute for right now, but wait until the newness of this show wear off. 9 times out of 10, a lot of them probably trying to stick around with each other so that they could get opportunities from each other. I've noticed that in the past, people on Big Brother will stick together in hopes of being able to go to The Price is Right, The Bold and the Beautiful,
Right.
The Amazing Race, Survivor. A lot of the times they'll put on these facades to get these other opportunities. But I wonder, once the newness wears off and she really can actually focus and see what she really dealing with on her hands, if she'll have a change of heart once she have all the information that we all have. She don't have all that information because she probably didn't think to be looking on Twitter and everywhere else. So I guess that's what I meant by that. But like, even with the Amazing Race, we got Big Brother edition of the Amazing Race going on right now. And depending on how well this season go for this Amazing Race, they might try to do it again. Who wouldn't say that Catherine might try to hang up in there with him in hopes of them being able to get an opportunity to get on the show like that together? You know, it'd be a lot of opportunistic stuff that happens when it comes to these people after they finish Big Brother, because they just trying to ride the wave and ride the fame.
Yep. Basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, so we reached the end of our recap. Okay, so now that we done finally made it to this spot, what are your overall thoughts about everything in general?
My overall, first of all, for Ashley to start off the way she started, I would never thought she would have made it this far to get the last HOH and
Right.
the win, the whole damn game. That shit was funny because I'm like, for a person to win, she won something in the beginning. I think she won a veto.
A veto.
She won a veto in the beginning. You know how far back that was. And
It was actually, let me tell you. So it was actually week 1, but it's crazy because I had got so used to her losing that I forgot about that. But remember when she took the shower up in Vince's shower? Remember Vince was the first HOH and she went up in there and took a 2-hour shower up in his shower, and they had pissed him and the rest of the house people off.
Yeah.
He put her on the block that week. And she had to win the veto to save herself off the block that week. So I find it so funny that she used his shower week 1, pissed him off. He threw her on the block. She won the veto to save herself week 1. Only for us to fast forward 11 weeks later, she ended up bringing his rump to the final 2 so that she could beat him and win the game.
I said, look at this. She did an awesome job. She did a good pretending. Yeah, because she had me thinking, like we said in the midst of talking about it, she would have never been my lawyer after all before I know what I know now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely was thinking that. It was pretty much a whole full circle moment because the very first week, Vince put her up on the block because of the shower. If you go back to our recap that first week, you brought that to my attention the most because that was when you was like, "What you think about Ashley in the shower?" And I said, "What?"
Yeah.
Well, they saying that she used his shower in the HOH, and me and you had a good little dialogue about that because I was saying that that's disrespectful.
Right.
HOH is somebody's private room. It's not for everybody to be using. They
What's up?
bathroom and they shower and they soap and they no. So she was out of order for that. And I didn't
Yeah.
like her after that. But well, she won.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, she started off and she did a good job pretending and acting dumb
Mm-hmm.
because I remember her saying, what she said, Katy Perry went to the moon.
Mm-hmm. And then she would be asking Will a whole bunch of weird questions, which would be like questions that answers that she should know, but she would just act so naive, like she had no idea. And I had to look back and I'm like, was she 25 years old? So, yes, some things that Will talking about could be outdated. Like, I
Yeah.
think even like to the point where Will was telling them about him had been in the military. And I think she might ask him if he had fought in World War One. And I'm thinking to myself, it was like little crazy stuff like that she was saying that made you think she was dumb as a box of rocks. And I'm like, I know this lady got to know that Will wasn't even alive during World War One. But
But she played it. She played it. She played it.
yeah, she did. So I got to give her credit to that. You got to give credit where it's due.
Yeah. And I guess
Well,
Vince, I guess
mhm,
Vince, I guess Vince thought he was gonna cry his way all the way through.
he did. Well, throughout this entire game, he always stayed dependent on the woman, even down to the end. He had to depend on a woman to bring him to the final two. Whether Morgan would have brought him or whether Ashley would have brought him. Because he damn sure didn't win his way there himself. Just like how I think it was Lauren had used the veto to save him that one time. And then I think somebody else was about to use a veto to save him. Another
Mhm.
woman was using vetoes to save him and all this mess. Yeah. It's good. It was a decent season overall, even though Rachel had got messed over. Overall, I'm okay with how the season ended. I feel like the best person to win won. And I actually hope that Vince and Morgan look at this as some form of karma for them up in there cheating. And
Mhm.
cheating and engaging in that infidelity up in that house or whatever they
Mhm.
had going on that make this girl break up with him.
I think it was more than what they saying. I think
Who
it's more.
knows? The only person that know that is them. But I will say now, probably the next couple of days, I'll probably tune into like different exit interviews.
Mhm.
The internet be full of exit interviews where they get interviewed about their gameplay and what they thought. And Ashley, even as I was working earlier today, I had already saw a couple of the channels that I typically watch for Big Brother.
Uh-huh.
They were dropping exit interviews because like now Ashley being the winner, she doing a whole bunch of press tours.
You
And
know,
you know
you know what I'm gonna do?
what?
Since you might not want to do it on your channel, but you can join my channel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna actually stream some of them how you call it, exit videos
The
or
exit
interviews.
interviews. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm gonna stream some of them. It's the way you do it. You can just, it's like a reaction video, like me from.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, I'll go through my Rolodex and see if I can find a few of them that I scroll through. But that's the thing. I didn't watch any of the exit interviews because I knew we was doing this tonight. I
Right.
didn't
If
want
you
to watch the exit interview and then have more information to her strategy that you didn't.
All right, so what you can do, like if you do find any text it to me, text me the link,
Hmm.
and then I can set it up for a reaction. We can react to it. You know what they tell. You know what we do is just like I can play it, and we just keep stopping it and talk it. Talk about it.
Yeah, we could do that, but don't forget, we got to move on to Amazing Race.
I know I watched that. That was so good. I don't even want to talk about it right now.
Right. Well, that I still gotta get watch that because another episode is coming on Thursday night, and then we got to be ready to talk about that on Saturday morning.
Right.
Hmm. But
Unless you want,
I don't
let's,
mind doing a reaction video. But I do. I'm gonna probably at the end of this week, then I'm gonna have to move on to the Amazing Race because that's gonna be tough to cover in my opinion because it's so many teams. I'm really gonna have to buckle down and get my notes and shit together. Cause some of these people I don't even know. I don't know some of them folk that's playing, even though they was on Big Brother before, but I just don't remember.
yeah, it was a couple of them I don't remember also, but the majority, I do know the majority of them, but it's a couple of them I don't know. I was like, who was that? I don't even remember them.
A lot of the times when you come across them types of people that you don't know or you don't remember, it's usually because they was the first one evicted.
They were gone. It was
Right.
a what?
That's a lot of the times that's how you find the people that was on on Big Brother that's not as memorable because they was probably the first or second one out the house. So of course they didn't get enough screen time on the show for you to remember them or know them by name or know their face and stuff.
Okay. I mean, if you're not busy Thursday
Mhm.
before the Amazing Race, like right at 5 or so, we can go. We can do a closeout. That can be our closeout of the Big Brothers 27.
Okay, that might work. That might work for me, DC on Thursday. Let me see. At about 5. Yeah, that should be okay for me. That should work.
Yeah, I don't work on that day, so I'll be good.
Okay.
I see. You see, my phone's doing good. I should shut up,
Hmm.
huh? I
Hmm.
got one. I got one more hour. They doing good.
I noticed that, and that's why I'm saying you better not jinx yourself.
I know.
But yeah.
I just got to put in the report what happened before we got on. So that's it.
Okay. Well, good deal. Well, let me go ahead and remove this graphic. Another season of Big Brother has gone in the books. This is our second time doing the recaps. We're going to continue with the Amazing Race. But if you were here only for Big Brother, we will be back next summer to do the next season.
Let's
Well,
go, Ashley. What happened?
I was just about to ask for your final words.
Let's go, Ashley. Let's go. Here we
Yeah,
go.
I'm happy. I'm happy that Ashley won. So yeah. And also, I think they said, yeah, this is not only did Ashley win, but they made history because this is the second Black woman to win in a row.
Oh yeah,
Last
yeah.
year, Chelsea won. Chelsea was a young Black girl that was on the season with Angela crazy self. Chelsea actually couldn't stand Angela. And so Ashley won last season. Now this season, we have Ashley. So it's pretty good. I'm happy. I can't complain about it. But well, thank y'all so much for joining us. We'll go ahead and bring this to a close. Please like the video if you haven't, and thank y'all for hanging in there with us this entire season. And we will be back reviewing Amazing Race starting Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all take care. Be blessed. Don't stress. Bye.
Peace out.